Yo, I'm RMJ isn't fake. Um, that's me right here. Um, that's also me, and so is that. Quick facts about me: I'm 20 years old. I make music, and that's it. I guess the point of this video is just to establish a format of sorts, if that even makes sense. I don't even know what I want this to be yet, but here I am. I just set up my mic, I plugged in my mic to my computer and set the camera up and shit like that. It's really just my laptop. Wherever you are, whoever sees this, hope you're having a good day, good night, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good day at work and shit like that. Hope you make it home safe. Or just make it home safe. Don't call and drive. Don't text and drive. I mean, you can call and drive if you're comfortable enough doing that, but don't text and drive. Don't try to change your music and drive. Don't go 100 miles an hour on the highway just because you've never gone 100 miles an hour on the highway before. Even though there's no one on the highway at the dead of night after your shift, don't do that. And I'm not saying that because that is something that I've done. Just don't do it. There has been a lot that has happened this year that I have had trouble processing. A lot that I've learned about myself, a lot that I have learned about other people in my life, a lot that I have learned about the world, just a lot that I've learned. And I'm grateful to have an opportunity to wake up and be able to learn. Although I take it for granted a lot. I take for granted like the time that I have. I take for granted where I am, just physically. I take for granted the people in my life. And I don't want to do that. I want to be better than that. And I don't know why I'm really saying all this in front of a camera, but I figure if I don't say it in front of a camera, I'm not going to say it anywhere else. Because I don't really talk to anybody about anything, to be honest with you. And that's not an exaggeration, by the way. I'm not just saying that. Like, I dead ass do not talk to anybody about anything, especially throughout the back half of this year. I just kind of trailed off in terms of communicating with other people about what's going on in my life and what's going on in my head. I've only been outside of my teenage years for a year. And my birthday is coming up in a few months, or a couple months really. I don't really know where I'm going with this. This might be all over the place, but it's okay. Despite the fact that I have all of this newfound wisdom, I guess, and despite the fact that I have had a lot of great moments this year, I still get the feeling that I haven't really done anything. And I guess technically in terms of progressing in anything in regards to career, anything in regards to education, I haven't really done anything. I haven't really gotten a job since my first job, which I quit in January of this year. For reasons that I may or may not get into, I probably won't. I haven't really been back to college since I dropped out. Is it 2 years? Going on 2 years now. It's been 2 years since I dropped out of college, which is kind of insane to think about because I could have swore that was last year, but it wasn't. A lot of time has gone by, and I haven't really, thought about what I wanted to do. I have, but not as much as I probably should. And I think a large part of that is due to me having an idealistic mindset about pursuing my dreams, and me thinking that I'll just because I want it badly means I'll automatically have the discipline to do so or to pursue those dreams. But that's not necessarily the case. My whole life, I've pretty much my whole life I've struggled with like maintaining discipline, like self-discipline. I've rarely been like completely self-reliant. I guess the only area I've been like entirely self-reliant is like my mental health. and like maintaining that. I have had help with it in the past. It just got easier over time to not say anything. People would ask me like if I was okay and like what's going on with me and shit like that. Not like in a way where it's like what's wrong with you, but like just as like a general question, as like a conversation starter, like how are you doing type shit, like checking up on me. It just got easier over time to just say I'm good, life is good, I'm chilling and shit like that. Even though most of the time when I was saying that, I was not good and I was not chilling. I got good at lying to myself, which in turn made me good at lying to other people, at least about that. In regards to what goes on in the old noggin up here, it's always just been something that I've been super reserved about, never really expressed a whole lot, and never really figured out how to just kind of throw it out there as much as I, wanted to. So that's what the music is for. Not really intentionally. It just kind of became that over time as I like started talking to people less and less. It just kind of became a point of solace for me because that was like basically the only way I felt I was able to express myself openly. And even then, I still felt restricted because I was scared of being judged and I was insecure about my voice and about my music in general. Even though like a lot of people would tell me it was good, I still didn't feel secure in it. I was like feeding off of that validation, I guess, but it didn't last, because I at the end of the day, I still wasn't like secure within my own artistry, I guess. Although I was, but I wasn't. It's a weird thing. I'm more secure in the way I create compared to like how secure I am in what I create. I don't know if that makes sense, but it does to me. Anyways, before I lose too much of the point, music just became that for me, became therapy. And I have been to therapy before. I've been to therapy 3 or 4 times by now. All of those times I just stopped going. Um and I don't really know why. I guess the best answer I could come up with thinking about it in retrospect, like why I stopped going. It wasn't really for any particular reason. It was just I wasn't really pushing myself to go. If no one else was there to be like, hey, don't you have an appointment? Don't you have a therapy appointment on this day? It wouldn't really be anything to just not go. I guess I didn't want to. Not because I didn't want the help, but just because I guess it felt like more of something I was obligated to do. I do owe it to myself to get that help if I feel I need it. And I did feel I needed it. The longest time I stuck with one therapist was for 3 months, maybe. And that was like every 2 weeks when I saw that therapist. And he was cool. Yeah, that was like back in 2020. Last time I visited a therapist was last year, actually. I forgot that happened, but early last year, I believe. But that didn't last all that long. I don't remember when I stopped going, but it's definitely been over a year since I stopped going. I felt like I've, definitely needed someone to talk to since then, and especially at this point in my life. But here I am talking to a fucking camera in the bathroom at 2 a.m. in the morning. It's actually almost exactly 2 a.m. That's crazy. I was just joking, but I just looked at the time. Music became therapy for me after a while of just me not going, and it did help for a while. And sort of getting feedback on the music also helped. It was almost like exposure therapy for me. There was this project that I dropped called Drink More Water. I made like a bunch of different versions of it between like late 2019 to mid 2021. 2021 was when I finished it and released it. That was really me trying to figure out like what an album from me would sound like. I was 15 at the time. You can definitely hear me like try to find my voice on that, or try to find like what sort of pocket I want to exist in on that album. Although it's pretty like consistent with, it's pretty soul sample oriented, like sort of jazzy in some instances, kind of like neo soul injected in there at certain points, particularly toward the end. It definitely still feels like an effort that is like, okay, this is his first project type shit. Like this is his first attempt at making something concrete. And I look back on that time fondly for sure, because It was definitely fun making that project as much as it was annoying making that project because a lot of my equipment was fucking up. At the time, I didn't have a laptop. I was working off of my dad's old Mac. It's like a small TV type shit, like one of those. And from like 2011, I think. I don't even know when we got that shit. But yeah, I was working off of that. That thing had so many issues. It would crash every 5 seconds. At the time, it wasn't that much of an issue. After I made that project is when it really started to become an issue. It would crash a lot. It would lag. It just never had enough space for me to continue recording stuff. I think in making that project, I definitely was, like I said, trying to find my voice and also trying to like find some sense of like confidence, like gain some sort of confidence in my voice because I didn't really know my voice yet. And granted, I was 15 years old, but still, I guess at that time that was my voice. No, it was definitely like pretty like healing for me to make it, or at least therapeutic, and even more so to have a lot of people around me at the time because obviously I was in high school, or I guess not obviously, but I was in high school at the time. They all knew I made music pretty much, and they all were supportive of it. And when I dropped Drink More Water, like the sort of reception I got was like unexpected. I didn't like have any remote sense of like fame or anything like that. Like I didn't gain 1,000 followers off of this album, or I didn't even gain 100 followers off of me dropping that. There were a lot more people than I expected that knew about it and that saw it. It was some people I hadn't talked to in like years that were like, hey, good shit. And I was like, oh shit, okay, cool. With the response, it definitely like sort of reinforced the point I was trying to prove to myself. Not that I would necessarily need that validation for that to happen. And I wasn't even looking for anybody to see it, to be honest with you. Now that I really think about it, I wasn't really expecting anybody to see it, but I was promoting the hell out of it. Like I was posting a lot. I don't post shit on my Instagram anymore. I think that might have contributed a little bit over time with my journey with music. It sort of became like that reinforcement that I got outside of like 2022. Like I guess beyond 2022, because I didn't drop any projects in 2022. I was mostly just making music just because I wanted to make shit. I was trying to make a project, but I didn't really feel called to put any of it out. It was really just mostly for me. It wasn't like I set the intention to make the music for me. Like it was just something that I wanted to do and that I had a lot of fun doing. 2023 is a different story. 2023 was a pretty rough year for me. It wasn't all bad, but it was a lot that happened. It's such a weird vibe that comes off of the music that I made that year, because it's like I was really trying, I guess that's sort of a turning point for me creatively. It's like when I realized that this has to be it and it can't be anything else, and I kind of made the music with that in mind. And it sort of just like emanates desperation, at least to me. I haven't put any of that music out outside of like 8 songs. I think I dropped a project titled Proper Grammar, but that was just 8 songs out of like possibly hundreds that I made. That 8-song project was supposed to be like 12 songs. It was part of a project that I was trying to make in 2022. But it didn't exactly, I just didn't really know how to put it together, so I just kind of made it into something else. I might do something with that in the future because there's some really good shit in my back catalog. Outside of the proper grammar shit, there's a project that I made called Therapy Doesn't Exist. Super subtle, right? Just with that project alone, you can hear like me like really want this shit to work. And then it just didn't come out. I just didn't put it out because I was like, damn, this shit is terrible. I don't like this shit. I don't even think I thought it was terrible, although I kind of did. But it was just, I just didn't like it. There's one song, maybe a couple songs that I like. And then there was a one after that, titled Couldn't Even Do It, that technically did come out. I put it out this year, but it's almost a bastardized version of it because I really like trimmed the fat. Not saying the original project was like 30 songs or whatever, but there was like a bunch of different iterations of it. Like probably like I don't know, 5 different iterations of it. I'm just going off the top of my head, but there was a lot of different versions of it. I like some of the songs off of that project, but again, I actually don't like it. And I don't even listen to it anymore. I haven't listened to it since maybe the month after it came out. Hell, maybe the month it came out, actually. It just feels like a watered down version of what I probably wanted it to be in my heart of hearts. I probably shouldn't have touched it. 2024, I also made a lot of music. That was also sort of a weird time, but not as much desperation was injected into the music. It was more so optimism, also contrasted with pessimism. Like a lot of my lyrics involved the weight of the world in a way how I imagine things to be different, like coming out of high school, but not really. I guess more so just how I should be moving or want to be moving, but not exactly sure how to get there. Just kind of going with the motions. Although I don't want to, kind of all I got right now as far as ideas. But 2024 was, a decent year for me creatively. I really started to hone in on being intentional with my lyrics and the way I said things. I think there's a lot of music that I made that year that I like. I haven't gone back to it in a minute, to be honest, but there's a lot of good shit. And a lot of shit that I wish I hadn't made sometimes. It's okay, it's a part of the process. Cut to this year, 2025. I made a lot of music this year. I actually made a lot of music this year. I don't even know how much I made, but I made a lot of songs. I don't know if I want to make the claim that this year is the year that I made the most music, but it might be low key. I went through a lot of different like phases, I guess, of creativity where I just like sound different every 3 months. It feels like I went through 3 years within one. I don't know how I got stuck on music, to be honest. I mean, I guess it's just, it is what I want to do. So it is what I want to do. So why wouldn't I, talk about it a lot? Despite me making a lot of music and me having a lot to talk about this year because so much happened in my life this year. This is probably the year that I've learned the most about myself and about what I want to let in my life and what I don't want to let in my life, what I want around me, what I don't want around me, etc., etc. I'm now at a point where I want to say I feel stuck, but I don't know if that's the right way of putting it. I'm just at a low point. I don't know if stagnation is the right way of putting it, though. It might be, but I guess it is stagnation because it doesn't it doesn't feel like anything's happening. I'm in mindless consumer mode. Like I'm just watching random ass YouTube videos, entertainment media. I'm gonna name some movies I watched this year. I watched Pearl, and X and Maxine. I like Pearl the most out of the three. I thought that movie had a real good contrast between like how fucking colorful it was and how fucked up it gets. First time I watched it, I was so you can imagine the impression that movie left on me. I don't know if I want to do that again. What else? I watched Training Day for the first time. That's just fucking fantastic. I just love everything about that movie. I wish I could watch it for the first time again already. I watched Friday for the first time this year. I had never watched Friday. Is that crazy to say? Probably 20 years old, and I just watched Friday for the first time in like June or July. That's where I'm at though. I'm just in mindless consumer mode. I've been doom scrolling YouTube and just having trouble maintaining a sense of reality. It's been a weird year. Definitely been like the most trying year, like for me, just all around, emotionally, physically, mentally, financially, with a lot of like great moments. It's been a stupidly like strange year. Like I don't even know how I am where I am. I'm not really trying to say like it's a wonder that I'm still here type shit, but sometimes I do be thinking that. And I'm like, damn, like, okay, I guess that means something. We have like, December has 31 days. I can't do math. Holy fuck. That was bad. We have like 14 days left. Oh shit. Is it 14? Yeah. What the fuck? Okay, we got 14 days left, so 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks left in 2025, which is fucking insane to say out loud. I'm gonna be back I don't know why my computer did, or why the camera did that just now. I'm gonna be back on here, just to chat and whatnot. I just realized y'all can see like the soap that I use, and I don't know if I feel comfortable with that. That's low key an invasion of privacy. Why are you looking at that? Should I blur that? I should blur that. I should blur that, right? I'm gonna end the video here before I talk too much. Drink more water. It's not just an album title. I meant that shit. You get the points. That was not an intended pun.